Hello scrapbooking friends, and thank you for joining me for a little update and a layout share video. I thought I'd pop on and let's show you what I did in December. I did do quite a few layouts in December, but most of them were done in like a 1 week period, apart from a couple, and there's only 2 videos. At the beginning of December I had to kind of empty out my craft room because I was getting a new window fitted. And we were actually getting new windows fitted throughout the house, so everything was a little bit chaotic. So I had to pack up my room, as I say. And what I did was I packed a few things into a crock bag, took myself off for a little retreat here on the Isle of Wight. I booked a little cottage, and I went to stay there with the dogs, and my husband stayed at home to take care of the window fitters and supervise and everything. So I think I got the better end of the deal there, and I had a lovely week in a little cottage, just doing nothing but scrapbooking, sewing, reading my book, my magazines, and just having a really nice time. So I was very fortunate. But that was the only week really that I did any scrapbooking in December, apart from there's 2 videos before this one of this layout, and also my cookies layout that I did. This one I did at the very beginning of December, and that one I did at the very end of December. So that's where we are. I'll show you these layouts, and then I'll give you a little update as to what I'm doing. So this one was my guest designer layout for Dotty About Flair. Every layout that I've done here is for the Dotty About Flair Happy Holidays event, and it also includes the Scrapper Sketchathon and Scrap Backwards. So I'm pretty sure that every layout was a sketch and the prompts from Dotty About Flair, but I haven't got it all written down. But if you were to go over to those groups, you would find all the details, and if you wanted to do a sketch or the prompts or anything, you can still do that. So I'm not sure if the Scrapper Sketch one has finished for prizes, but either way you can go over and take a look and see if there's anything you want to do. So yep, this was the first one, and there is a video for this one, so you could go and take a look at that if you wanted to. Feeling festive. Yep, that was the mixed media one. This was definitely a sketch, and I used a lovely Bramble Fox piece here and some bits and bobs that my lovely friend Moira sent me. Of course, lots of flare pieces on here. And this was cut from a very old, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, this was cut from a very old, like a booklet thing that I'd had for years and not used. So I cut all the pieces out, and it really came in handy for this hexagon layout, because when I was away on my little retreat, I only had like a stash with me. I didn't have everything. I just had like a little kit that I'd taken with me, and as it happened, this was in there and it fitted in really well with the hexagons. So I've trimmed it all up and used bits and pieces on here. So some very old alphas used here as well. So I was really pleased with that one. Lovely paper as well. This one on my retreat, I didn't have my 12-inch trimmer. So there are some quite interesting torn edges on some of my layouts here. I had my small trimmer, but not my large full-size trimmer. So this is one of the ones that's got an interesting edge, but I quite like it. So yeah, this was another sketch, of course. This was the Christmas tree at the little cottage that I was staying at. The dog's looking at the tree because they decorated it for Christmas, and it was really nice. This is Vicky Bootin, isn't it? I'm sure it's Vicky Bootin paper. So, but it'll be amongst the haul videos that I've done, because they're new thing. It's a new paper for this year. This one is another one that I did. This was a photograph that I took on the day that I was leaving for my retreat. I think that's just one. Yeah, this one. So this was me with my Christmas jumper, and this would have been the 6th of December. And I've used quite a lot, again, lovely Bramble Fox pieces on here, and flare badges, and pocket page cards here, some Tim Holtz stickers, just a real sort of mash of all kinds of stash. Oh, that should be a hashtag. This was one I did when I came back from my, oh yeah, I must have done this one as well when I came back. So I did this one as well, but I don't think there was a video for this one. Yeah, so these are my new windows in my house. So the new windows and the door as well. So very nice they are. Really pleased with them. We don't have to worry about leaky windows this winter now, which is always a worry when you've got leaky windows. Yeah, I was really pleased with myself because I used my very old what's it called? A squeeze tool, Quick Cuts squeeze tool, and it's just a handheld squeeze tool. And I've had it for years, and when I first got it, I think it was probably around about 2009 when I first started scrapbooking, I just wanted it so badly, and I wanted all the things that came with it. And I am pretty good at using my tools, but over the years, and over the years I have used it, but you know, not enough. But so I'm trying this year, one of the things I'm going to try and do is use my stamps and my tools a little bit more. I do try and use most of my things, but you know, same with everything, some things do get left behind, don't they? So this is mainly a cardstock layout actually, and I think one of the prompts was probably frames, and these little wooden frames I've had for a long time, so I was really pleased to use those. Yep, another one, pleased with that one. This was, some of these are also for, the other thing that I'm doing is I do follow the challenges at Hey Little Magpie and Bramble Fox. So this might have been a Bramble Fox challenge, but I must say I must admit I'm not sure, but I think it might have been with the straight line of embellishments. So I did get the Bramble Fox Advent this year, but I also subscribed to the Fox box, so I think these came from the Advent. I'm sure they would have done. And then, of course, this was an idea by Stephanie on Dotty About Flair to do a flare tree. So I did that as well. It's really lovely. Came out really good. Great idea. I stamped on one of the flare badges there, and I used some of my tags and some ribbon. And again, this is a cardstock layout. So that's really, it's always good to use your cardstock. And this glitter cardstock I've had for years. So it's good to use something older as well, which I tend to do on all my layouts. I try to use older and new stash. And that works for me. And this one there is a video for. It's a partial process video. It's my Christmas cookies layout. So yeah, that's lovely, that one. I'm really pleased with that one. Some of these I'll probably frame and put on the wall next year at Christmas time. Right, now the other thing that I'm doing is I'm working on a Christmas album. I always do a Christmas album. I've done a Christmas album for years and years and years, long before I knew about Journal Your Christmas and December Daily and those kind of things. I think my first one was probably in 2010, and I didn't really discover YouTube until 2016. So from 2016 I followed Chamel's Journal Your Christmas, which I still do now, but I don't follow the prompts. I do my own thing. I get ideas from other people, obviously, but I don't follow prompts or anything like that. I just do my thing. Now, my idea for this year was this album, which is, I think it's Echo Park. It's a beautiful poinsettia album. But when I purchased it, I didn't realise it was the thin type of album. Usually at Christmas, for my Christmas, there's a funny thing stuck on there. Usually at Christmas, I use a 6x8 album because that's my favourite. But I use the double width one. So it's the same width as a 12x12 album. And when I purchased this, I didn't realise it was the thin one. And the first couple of years that I did do that, I actually used 2 albums anyway. So 2 double thickness 6x8 albums for my Christmas album. So yeah, so I've had the idea to use this for my December Christmas album, and I've got another album that I'll show you that I think I'm going to use for that 1 week that I was away at the retreat. So photos from that, they will maybe be Christmas related, but they're related to my retreat and the things that I did there. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing now, because this is not going to be thick enough to fit everything in. So right, so what I've done so far, I've separated the layouts now. I had all the layouts in one pile, but I've separated them into the 2 albums. So the layouts in this album are the ones that are going to be in my Christmas themed album. So this is my cover page. A lovely little piece there from Hey Little Magpie. Some very old pieces there, poinsettias. And this is kind of a little tribute to my dog Elvis, because he passed away in 2021, and it was the first Christmas without him. And also our other dog had passed away a few years before, so it was they'd both passed away by this Christmas. So this is my little tribute to Elvis. What I've found that I've been doing, I think partly because I was away on the retreat, and also because I've been following all these sketches and the prompts and everything, I've been doing 6x8 pages. I do pocket pages, the pocket album, and I will probably do that in the in-between pages. But at the moment, I've not really done any journaling at all, but I will rectify that. I will definitely do some journaling, and I'll put that in different places in the album. So these 2 pages here are will be for the 1st of December. I've not done them yet, but I've put the photos in. It's my husband's birthday on the 1st of December, so it's always kind of related to that. So that's going to be the 1st of December, but it's not completed yet. And then that might be related to kind of like December, the whole month, some writing, you know, the things that I want to do and that kind of thing. But thoughts, you know, but I'm not sure yet. So this is the 1st of December, and this is the day I start wearing my festive wear. And another piece here from Hey Little Magpie, and some bits and bobs that I've got, obviously flare pieces and wooden pieces and some washi tape and what have you. And this is Chester. I was taking a photo because this year I've been taking my photo at the top of the stairs with my festive wear, which I hadn't done before. So that's another story for this year. But Chester was just sort of being curious. So I said, oh, come on, have a photo. When the photo came out, it just was perfection with the antlers there. So I thought that was really funny. It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned at all, but it was really funny. Okay, so then the second day was another photo with my festive wear. And I'm using all the pieces. The stash that I'm using is everything that I've got that's Christmas related. So some of it's new, some of it's older, and I haven't made a note of it or anything. So I'm pretty sure that's Simple Stories. And of course I'm using my flare, my Bramble Fox pieces, and all the new things that I've got this year, as well as older stuff. So yeah, I haven't made a note of any of the things that I've used here, but it's a real mix of stash. So very old, very new. And I did a 2-page spread for this one. So a photo with me and then one with the dogs. And this one is day 3, and this I did enter this into Bramble Fox, I think, for their challenge for the month, and it was to use, I think it was to use like something glittery, use glitter or shiny things. So that's what I did, and this was a piece that had a palm tree attached to it, but I removed the palm tree and I thought it worked perfectly for the snowy, you know, picture there. This one, I actually don't think this was for any of the challenges at all. I think I just did this one. You know, I just thought of it and did it, and it's actually documenting my guest designer spot with Dotty Bat Flair Happy Holidays event. So I was day 10. Yeah, and so I just did this, and I did it kind of in the style of Adam because he likes a lot of pattern paper and everything. And I really wanted to use this alpha. I didn't have the E and the R. I wanted it to be guest designer, but I didn't want that as much as I wanted to use some of that old alpha. So in the end, I just did it as guest design. And again, that's got all nice bits from my stash on there. And Adam sent me these very kindly, a little set of stickers, because he knows I love Christmas jumpers. Tim Holt stickers again, the glitter domes, and Flair, of course, and a little Brad there. So I was pleased with that one. So that's as far as I've got in this album. I don't have deadlines or anything. I don't set myself any goals with regard to my albums and everything, so I'll just work on it as when I'm scrapbooking, I'll be working on it, so it's not like I'm behind or anything. That's what I mean. Now this is the one that's going to be my retreat week album. This album was supposed to be documenting my trip to Canada in 2020 to go to the Scrapbook and Cards Today Create and Inspire event. But of course that got cancelled, so I never went to that. Now this is the opening page. I haven't done it yet, but I've put the bits in that I wanted to use. The place that I stayed at was called Holly Cottage, and I've got this getaway piece, which I think is a summer piece, but I'm going to use it for my winter album, because, you know, it's perfect, isn't it, because I did go on a getaway and it was amazing. Right, so the first page that I've got here is called, there's probably quite a lot of glare on this page. It's called Deck the Halls, and it was me emptying my craft room and packing my little crop bag before I went to crop. And of course decking the halls was delayed for that reason. We couldn't decorate the house or anything. I made these little flare badges into baubles. I think I'd seen someone else do that, and used a poinsettia sticker there, so pleased with that. This one was me packing this was on the 5th, so I was packing my bag and the dogs were with me, and I was packing my festive wear. And I was really pleased because I used some stamping as well as my flare badge and this beautiful, I really love this holly paper. It's Cartabella. I've had it for quite a long time, and I always love to use that. This was a photo that I took on the day that I was going, which was the 6th, with the dogs, all ready to go to the retreat, in my little itinerary of the things that I wanted to do on my retreat, which was read books and magazines, write cards and letters, scrapbooking, cross stitch, make some festive treats, and listen to Christmas music. I did all of those. I don't think I wrote any letters though. I did write a couple of cards whilst I was there, but yeah, everything on there that I really wanted to do, I did do, so I was pleased with that. And yeah, I wanted to make a note of what my plans were for that week. Okay, so this was day 7, and this was me sort of having a little photo shoot on the first morning that I was there. because they decorated the cottage for Christmas. It was really lovely. And yeah, so my first day wearing my jumper and enjoying myself. It was really cozy there, apart from the fact that when I was there, the first 2 or 3 days I was there was Storm Barra, and it was just although it was called a cottage, I think it was more of a converted garage, and it was kind of yeah, it did rattle quite a bit that first couple of days with Storm Barra, but you know, I had a log fire and they kept supplying me with logs, and it was really cozy, so I was happy. Yeah, it was a bit hair raising at times though. One of the things I wanted to do when I was there was make these cakesicles. I'd seen the idea on the Hobbycraft website, so that's where that came about. And I did do those one day on the 8th, I think. So this is just a little page documenting that. You can see here that I didn't have my trimmer, my 12-inch trimmer, so torn edges again. But, you know, they went with the cake. They're really difficult to make, actually. They make it look really easy on the website, but they're not easy to make. They're difficult. So they were not pristine, but they tasted very nice indeed. And then this was day 9, and this was me doing one of the things I wanted to do was a cross stitch, and I started and finished this one whilst I was there. It's just a very small one, you know, just a couple of inches. And the cottage had lots of these donkey pictures because it's relating to the Isle of Wight Donkey Sanctuary because it wasn't too far away from there, and I'm a real fan of the Isle of Wight Donkey Sanctuary. I do support them and I adopt the donkeys and I visit quite often, so it's really nice for me that the pictures in the cottage were the donkey pictures, not some of those awful kind of pictures that you sometimes get in these places like hotel rooms. They were really lovely, and it was a really cozy place. So yeah, so I did that as well, and this was a really old piece of pattern paper. So yeah, I'm pleased with what I've done so far. Haven't done any scrapbooking in January yet. My craft room is still not finished, although I had the windows replaced. There's still some kind of like finishing off work to do. We had a boiler removed from our kitchen, and the duct work and the pipe work for that comes up through my craft room. It's over there. And because we've had the boiler removed and placed elsewhere, I'm hoping to get all that removed to make so that little bit of boxed in, the little boxed in corner in my room is going to go. So it will make the room better. You know, there won't be that corner there, odd corner. And I'm hoping that the same person who does that for me is going to build me a new desk. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, it's kind of, everything's a little bit up in the air at the moment. So I'm excited for that to be finished. And it's kind of hard to sort of put everything back and get into crafting mode when you know something's outstanding like that. So what I'm planning to do in 2022 is I'm still going to do challenges and things. I'm not going to commit to any regular challenges, but I'm going to take part in challenges when I can. So it'll mostly be Dotty Bat Flare, Hey Little Magpie, Bramble Fox, Scrapper Sketch. They're the ones that I particularly like. So I'll be doing those, and hopefully I'll be recording all that for you. I've got a lot of layout ideas, lots of little layout kits that I've put together for my Christmas pages and things, so I'm going to be doing all that. I've had a few new things. I've got a few things for Christmas here from family and friends, some lovely little bits and bobs here. So I don't think I've purchased anything, but I've got these frames that Mum gave me and friends gave me some things. I finally got myself a little pickup tool, so anybody who's watching one of my previous videos with the sequins will be pleased about that. And I bought these little brushes, which I thought were, I didn't realise they were brushes. I thought they were going to be like a sponge. So I'm not sure how I'm going to, I have used it already, but I'm not sure how I'm going to work with those. I'll have to see. At the moment, they just don't seem very sturdy, but I'll give it a go, obviously. I'm still going to be getting my Bramble Fox. So I've got this is the December one, which I haven't used yet. I've got those pieces there to use, obviously. And then the January one came as well, so I'm excited to use that. I haven't used it. Oh, this might have been the December one, and that was the January one, actually. And I've got this little piece here, 2021. I also purchased some of these little 4x6 pockets with the 6x4 and the 2 3x4s. Every time I do a 6x8 album, I always tell myself that I'm going to try and use some of the other pocket page protectors, you know, the ones with a different kind of, some of them have got 2 6x4s or 4 3x4s, but I always end up coming back to this one. I really like using this one, so I did get some more of those because I will, like I say, in my Christmas album and my retreat album, we'll definitely be doing more journaling and stuff. So yeah, I've got those. So they're the few new bits and bobs that I've got. My lovely friend Moira in Canada sent me this beautiful advent with all lovely pieces in it, and just some really nice items that I'm going to go through. I'm keeping it all in this little container at the moment. She's some bramble fox and shadney and just really lovely things, handmade things that she's made as well, and some flair and tags and all kinds of lovely things. So that's one of the products that I'll be using for to finish my Christmas layouts and Christmas album. And then I also got the Bramble Fox Advent, which was also really nice. And these were extra. I purchased these extra. They're not from the Advent. Most of what in here is from the Advent. So I've still got quite a few of those to use up. So I'm keeping those on my desk too. And I did get the Dotty About Flair Advent. Some of them are in here. I've kept the Christmas themed ones in here. But I've also got a lot more of those. But they're mixed in with all my other Dotty About Flair pieces. So yeah, I'm excited for my 2022 scrapbooking. I'm hoping that my room will kind of get finished in the next couple of weeks, and then everything will be in place and I'll be able to relax and enjoy myself with my scrapbooking, because I'm not the sort of person who scrapbooks to relax. I'm the sort of person who has to be relaxed to scrapbook. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh, the other thing I've just been doing, I got the idea from Sarah Davis at Hey Little Magpie. She posted in Dotty About Flair that she'd been making cards. That's what she did for a business before she did Hey Little Magpie. But yeah, she gave me the idea. So I've been making a few little cards here, copying her idea. I've just been doing that today, actually. So I just whipped up a few early cards for birthday cards for this year. Really pleased with those. So that's a really good way to use your stash, because I've been using my punches, my 2 punches, a flare piece, some thread, a stamp and little enamel dots and things. So yeah, excited for that. Excited to get ahead a little bit with my cards. And like I said, I've done a Christmas one. So when I've finished all my Christmas scrapbooking, I'm going to use all my scraps to make some cards for next year. So that's exciting. Yeah, like I say, scrap backwards, Dotty About Flair, and all the challenges that I can do. With scrap backwards, I think I mentioned in a previous video that I'd used all my 12 by 12 cardstock that I'd purchased prior to 2021, but actually I'd made a mistake. I hadn't used them all. I'd used the ones I'd put in the little box for scrap backwards. But when I went into my other box of stash, I'd got quite a few more. Not lots, but I'd got a few more from before. So yeah, I'm going to try and use those. Like I said, I've put some kits together already, so I'm excited about that. And hopefully you'll join me. So Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a nice festive season, and I hope you've got, hope and peace in your heart for 2022. Let's hope it's a good year. And thanks for joining me. Take care, and I shall see you next time.